Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome everyone. Selamat datang ke SmartKelas dan Alhamdulillah minggu ini kita akan teruskan dengan kelas yang terakhir untuk minggu ini. Okay. So untuk sesiapa yang dah pernah join minggu lepas, you guys tahu hari Ahad ialah hari kita belajar bahasa Korea. Okay. Alright, Alhamdulillah minggu ni seperti biasa kita mulakan kelas live kita pada hari Selasa dengan English. Hari Rabu, English dengan Teacher Syifa. Hari Khamis was kelas asas tajwid bersama Ustazah Aliza. Hari Jumaat hari itu, masa hari Jumaat itu saya tak ada. Saya ada hal sikit. So Teacher Syifa dapat fill in last minute. Thank you Teacher Syifa. Okay. So hari Jumaat baru ni kita belajar dengan Cikgu Loh untuk matematik. And I understand that adik-adik SmartKelas Malaysia semua belajar mengenai bentuk dan juga perimeter kan. Okey, dan pada hari Sabtu alhamdulillah kita berkesempatan mendengar sedikit tazkirah daripada daripada Imam Faiz, dan hari ni ialah hari untuk kita belajar bahasa Korea. Okay, alright. Untuk sesiapa yang baru first time join SmartKelas ataupun baru first time join live kita pada malam ini, jangan lupa dan jangan risau yang last week punya kelas ada di kami punya Facebook page dan juga di YouTube. Okay, oleh itu jangan lupa nak follow dan like Facebook kami and subscribe our YouTube channel. Okay, alright. So last week dengan Shah kita belajar basics of Korean. Kalau siapa-siapa yang datang balik minggu ni, you guys should remember we learn how to say hello, we learn how to say your name, we also learn to count from 1 until 10. Kan? So last week punya kelas untuk bahasa Korea, kita belajar cara yang betul untuk sebut hello, sebab ramai, I think memang ramai yang minat Korea ni ataupun yang minat bahasa Korea dah tahu macam mana nak sebut annyeonghaseyo, tapi Shah Azham ada tunjuk tips macam mana nak cakap macam bunyi orang Korea kan. Okay, so minta maaf. Rasanya esok ada perayaan tahun baru Cina lagi, so malam ni dah start bunga api. Terkejut saya. Okay, so tanpa membuang masa lagi, I will bring on Shah. Hello Shah.
Hello. Annyeonghaseyo.
Apa yang takar saya tu?
Tak, bukan tengah buka ni. Apa ni nak tengok SmartKelas punya Facebook. Sebab kita kan kalau nanti ada orang yang tanya soalan, kita nak tengok dia punya soalan-soalan tu lah. Tapi biasalah bila dah macam gelabah macam ni dia tak keluar lah. Tapi dah keluar.
Okay, don't worry. I will keep an eye on that as well. So if you can open your Facebook. So macam Shah cakap, sesiapa yang nak tanya Aisyah soalan ataupun nak jawab soalan yang Aisyah bagikan semasa kelas kita, so you guys boleh gunakan ruangan komen di kita punya video malam ni di Facebook. Okay, so use the comment section, interact dengan Shah, jawab soalan. Macam last week, banyak of our audience memang dah boleh tulis Hangul tu. Okay, so you guys boleh type that in. Okay, alright Shah, I'll see you after class. Have a good session.
Okay, see you.
Alright.
안녕하세요. Welcome back to my class. 안녕하세요. How was your weekend? 주말에 어땠어요? It's actually when last week sebenarnya bila saya buat kelas yang pertama, yang bahasa Korea pertama ni, I was so shocked that most of you can write in Hangul, which is pretty cool. So hari ni dalam saya punya material, saya ada letak a little bit more Hangul sebab kita biasalah kalau kita nak belajar bahasa, it's easier for us to always familiarize. Okay, kita selalu baca ataupun tengok dia punya perkataan dalam bahasa Korea atau bahasa-bahasa lain lah. Okay, so if you have any questions regarding the material or regarding today's lesson, okay, boleh komen di Facebook live sekarang, and then saya akan baca dan kita akan discuss. Okay, so ingat tak last week kita belajar apa? Siapa ingat? Tidak. Last week sebenarnya kita belajar macam mana nak cakap annyeonghaseyo, betul tak? Dan kita also belajar untuk memperkenalkan diri. 안녕하세요. 저는 샤라고 합니다. 저는 샤이에요. Ingat tak? 이에요, 예요, 이에요, 이에요. Ingat? Okay. So hari ini Syah nak berkongsi lah, bukan nak mengajar, nak berkongsi macam mana kita nak cakap umur. Yes. Lepas kita dah cakap nama kita, of course kita nak cakap umur kita kan. So after umur kita akan cakap kita punya country, for example. So selalunya bila kita perkenalkan diri, okay, kita akan cakap 안녕하세요, 저는 뭐뭐뭐, your name, 이에요 atau 이에요. Ingat tak grammar last week? Okay. So the next sentence would usually be your age, okay, and your country. Okay, so hari ni Shah nak share macam mana kita nak guna perkataan-perkataan Korea untuk memperkenalkan diri atau memperkenalkan umur kita dan country, negara kita. Okay, so siapa ingat 1 sampai 10? Siapa ingat 1 sampai 10? Last week kita ada belajar. Shah share sikit kok lah terlupa kan. Okay. Okay. So last week kita, sebelum kita mengakhiri kelas last week kan, kita ada belajar sedikit sebanyak apa ni, nombor. Okay, which was number 1 until number 10. Okay, ingat lagi tak? Okay, we say it together. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열. Okay, sampai 10, ingat tak? So, hari ni kita nak sambung sikit sampai 20 lebih lah, because it's easy to use number 1 until 10, but it's easier to use number 20 up until 100. Sebab apa? Dia akan ulang je. Okay, so for example, kita tengok the last number is your, which is number 10, isn't it? Macam dalam bahasa Melayu juga, kita ada 10, kan? So lepas 10 tu 11, ada lain sikit, then 12, 13, macam tu kan? Dia tambah perkataan baru, which is belas. Tapi dalam Korea, kita ulang je balik yol tu. So 11 nak cakap macam mana? So 10 dulu, baru 1. Kan? 10 dulu, baru 1. So, yol, hana. Senang tak? Dia tarik macam ni je. Okay, your hana, macam tu. Okay, your hana. Dia tarik balik je. Lepas tu sambung je lah. Kalau number 12, sorry, your 둘, your 셋, your 넷, your 다섯, 열 여섯, 열 일곱, 열 여덟, 열 아홉. Okay, bila kita pergi dekat 20, kita akan tukar sikit. Okay, 20 dia akan jadi, siapa tahu? Yes, dia akan jadi semul. Semul. Okay, semul. Hang pula kita punya komputer. Semul. Okay, semul. Okay, tunggu je. Kita punya material hang lah. Okay, jap. Syah akan tulis dekat ni dekat komen Semul. Can you see in the comment? Izatan nak cakap teacher dalam bahasa Korea. Oh, okay, jap. Sementara Syah restart apa ni sistem ni. Sorry minta maaf. Ada masalah teknikal. Teacher, macam mana nak cakap teacher dalam bahasa Korea?
Sorry, can you try to use the whiteboard instead? Or your computer just freezes over ke apa?
Bukan, dia punya apa ni Photoshop je.
Okay.
Sekejap
Can you just use the whiteboard dulu?
Sekejap Okay. Can you see my whiteboard? Boleh nampak tak? Okay.
Yep, can. Okay, you go ahead. Good to go.
Okay.
All right.
Semul. Okay, semul is Allahu Akbar. Semul is 20. 20. So it's the same thing. So kita ulang aja balik. Kalau 21? Siapa tahu? Okay. Sumur han. Ataupun sumur hana, tapi kita selalu dia guna sumur hansal. Okay. Sumur hana, sumul-tul, sumul-set, sumul-net. Okay, dia punya ikut-ikutan di balik Okay. Pandai, Alizati. Sumulhan. Okay, kalau kita nak cakap bahasa umum, kita akan guna sumulhansal. Okay, we will get to that in a minute. Okay, sumulhan. So this one is mul. Okay. So Shana, korang tulis dekat komen tu, what is your age? So for me, for example, I am 26. So what is 6 in Korean? Do you remember? Apakah nombor 6 di dalam bahasa Korea? Yes. 여섯. 26 means 26. Okay? 26. 26. So what is your age in in Korean? Miss Zarina says, Shah, 선생님 lambat lagi nak sampai 51. So I assume your age is 51. Okay, tapi kita pergi slow. 26 is 26. So what is your age in Korean? So you can write it down. So again, kita ulang balik daripada 1, okay, sampai 29. Boleh tak? Okay, so ingat 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열, 열하나, 열둘, 열셋, 열넷, 열다섯, 열여섯, 열일곱, 열여덟, 열아홉, 스물, 스물하나 atau 스물한, 스물둘, 스물셋, 스물넷, 스물다섯, 스물여섯, 스물일곱, 스물여덟, 스물아홉. Okay? So Suyon Alizati cakap sumulhan. So you are 21 years old, right? Okay? And sumulyodol. So you are 28. Sumulyodol. Very good. Okay. So please remember the words atau perkataan untuk umo. Okay, the numbers. So later I will share with you the table for the numbers. So don't worry. Dia akan ambil masa sikit lah untuk belajar dia punya numbers. Sebab but the thing is you can only try to remember number 1 until number 10 je. Because the numbers yang akan tukar is basically the number 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and so on. Okay, so from number 1 to number 9 is basically the same. Okay, all right. Okay, mari kita tengok balik kita punya sekejap. Okay, let me see. Let me share you my screen this way. Just give me a minute. Okay. Okay. Miss Jaja, I think I need your help to let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay, I can see it. Okay. All right. So for the age, we will get back to that area. Okay, because my software is stuck at the moment. So nasib baik kita ada backup. Okay. So let's try to see this page. So remember last week, okay, kita ada belajar annyeonghaseyo, lepas tu kita ada belajar annyeonghaseyo, annyeonghaseyo kan. So we learned the phrases, the basic phrases for Korean. Okay, so hari ni saya nak share sedikit sebanyak, which is 4 new phrase or words that you can use in your daily conversation. Okay, so let's take a look at number 1. Can you see this guy? Okay, this person, what is he doing? He is opening the book, right? He is opening the book. So in Korean, we say book is 책. 책. Okay, this one, 을, is the grammar part of Korean. So I'm not going to go into the grammar part. Kalau nak belajar grammar, kenalah masuk smart class. Okay, so untuk hari ini kita just go through. Okay, the word for book in Korean is 책. 책. Okay, so 책을 펴. 펴 is open. Okay, 펴. And have you ever heard of something 세요? Something 세요. Okay, 세요 is please, basically please. Okay, 주세요, please give me. 가세요, please go. Can remember that? Last week, 조심히 가세요. 안녕히 가세요. Right? So please go well or something. Right? So please is 뭐뭐뭐 세요. Okay. So 펴세요 is please open. Please open. So when you are in a Korean class, okay, so for example, macam nanti in the future, maybe you join smart class and I will say, 책을 펴세요. 책을 펴세요. So you would know what I mean. So it means open the book, your book. Okay, so please repeat after me. 책. Okay, oh, sorry. Okay, 책. So since is the grammar part of it, but you can see that this is empty, isn't it? Is empty. So 책을. So you don't say 책을, you say 책을. Okay, please watch your pronunciation. 책을. 펴세요. Okay, 펴세요. 펴세요. 책을 펴세요. Open your book. Please open your book. Okay, very good. Now after, lepas kita dah buka buku tu, of course kita nak tengok apa konten ni kan. So kita akan cakap 책을, again, 책 is book and the grammar part of it, okay? 책을, what is look? Look is 보다. Okay, 보다. That is the base form of look. So if you want to say please look, you can just say 보세요. I'm not gonna go like too deep into the grammar part, okay? Because kita nak just learn the basics dulu. Okay, so kita belajar yang ni dulu. 보세요 is please look. Have you ever heard macam kalau dalam drama kan dia orang akan cakap 보고 싶어요. 보 is look or see. Okay, go 싶어 is want to do something. go 싶어 뭐뭐뭐 go 싶어. Okay, so 보고 싶어 is I want to see you or I miss you. Now you know what is 보고 싶어요. Okay, so it's the same concept. So 보세요. Okay, 보 is look. 세요, please. Okay, 보세요. 그래서 책을 보세요는 무슨 의미예요? Look at the book or look at your book. Okay, if I want to say, if let's say for example macam kita tengah tengok TikTok kan, lepas tu kita hantar kat kawan kita which is in the who is in the same room, lepas tu kita nak macam kita hantar, lepas tu kita tengok dia tengok ke tak TikTok yang kita hantar tu kan. Pasal kita cakap 휴대폰 보세요. Please look at your phone. Okay, 휴대폰 보세요. Okay, please look at your phone. Okay, very good. Now, for example, when you are in a class, bila kita dalam kelas kan, cikgu tak akan selalu dengar, okay, dengar betul-betul, dengar baik-baik, okay, dengar betul-betul, my pronunciation and semua tu. How do we say that in Korean? So if you join my smart class, you will hear me saying this a lot. 잘 들으세요. 선생님 말을 잘 들으세요. Please listen well or please listen carefully to me. Okay, so 잘 is good or well. Good or well. Okay, 잘. Like 잘했어요. You did well. That's a very good job. 잘했어요. Have you heard of that one before? Right? 잘했어요. Okay. 잘. 잘 is good or well. 들으세요. 들으세요. 들. This one comes from the base word hear. Hear. Okay, hear. Hear bukan sini, hear mendengar. Okay. 잘 들으세요 means please listen well or please listen. If you add the 잘 in front of 들으세요, it's please listen well or listen carefully. Okay? 그럼 선생님 말을 잘 들으세요. Okay? 선생님 말, okay? My words, teacher's word, okay? 잘 들으세요. Please listen carefully to teacher's word. Okay? 잘 들으세요. 잘 들으세요. Okay, one more time. 잘. Your tongue goes up. 잘 들으. Okay, dia 들으. But this one is empty, remember? So 들으세요. 들으세요. Okay? Okay, very good. And after you listen, repeat, you want to again, isn't it? So Tara. Tara is follow me. Tara. Okay, this is double D, so it's not Tara, it's Tara. Dia kuat sikit. Tara. Okay, Tara. 하세요. So like I said, 세요 is please, isn't it? Like something please. So ha comes from the word hada. The base word is hada, which is to do something. Okay, so please follow me is basically please do what I say or please do as I do it, right? So 따라하세요. 자, 따라하세요. 선생님 따라하세요. Please follow 선생님. 하세요. Okay, 따라하세요 means repeat after me. Okay, one more time. From the top. 책을 펴세요. 책을 펴세요. Okay. 책을 보세요. 책을 보세요. So if I want to say, please look at my screen, I just changed the check, which is the book, to screen. screen을 보세요. screen을 보세요. Okay, please look at the screen. Very good. 잘 들으세요. 잘 들으세요. 들으니까 your mouth is like 들으. The only thing that is moving is your tongue. 들으. So see, my mouth is not moving, right? 들으세요. 잘 들으세요. Okay? 잘 들으세요 is listen carefully. Okay? 따라하세요. open your mouth. 하세요. Okay, very good. Okay, so please remember these phrases. So next time, if you join my class, I would always use these phrases. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can move my this one, my screen, into my software. Sekejap. Just give me a minute. Kata tahu dia macam excited sangat aku nak mengajar dia, tiba-tiba crash softwarenya. Okay, if you have any question, just write it down in the comment section. Okay, let's see. Alhamdulillah boleh. Okay, tapi kita mungkin kena buka satu-satu lah, tak apa. Okay, let me share my screen. Hari ini sebenarnya, after kita dah belajar our age, sebenarnya Shah nak bawa korang semua pergi negara lain. Wah, tiba. Okay, tak kala kita corona ni. Apa kata kita belajar? Macam mana nak cakap negara-negara lain? So, what's most important is before we go to a different country, sebelum kita pergi ke negara lain, kita akan pergi mana? Siapa tahu? Lah, tiba. Kita dah pergi airport. Airport. So siapa yang pernah pergi Korea, you would know like there are two famous airports in Korea. Number one is Incheon 국제공항. pernah dengar tak? Incheon 국제공항. 우리는 인천 국제공항 도착했습니다. pernah dengar tak? Incheon 국제공항 is Incheon International Airport. Incheon International Airport. As you can see here, okay. Okay, as you can see here, this is the sign, okay, the sign for the way to go to Incheon International Airport, okay. And there is another one if you are in Korea, okay, kira lah macam you dekat Korea sudah, and then you nak pergi contoh Jeju or somewhere inside Korea itself, you would usually use or go to Gimpo 공항. Gimpo 공항. Gimpo 공항 is Gimpo Airport. It's located in, of course, like Gimpo, okay? And Incheon International Airport is located at Incheon. So have you ever been to Korea? Which one of these airports have you been to? I've only been to Incheon Airport. I tak pernah pergi Gimpo Airport, but I tak pernah pergi Jeju atau like travel anywhere inside Korea itself. So I would always go to Incheon 국제공항. Okay, and I like that airport. It's so nice. Okay, so I nak bagi tahu dua perkataan baru. Mungkin you tak pernah dengar perkataan ini. Okay, I would like to share with you two new words today. Let's take a look at the first one. 국제. Please repeat after me. 국제. 국제. 국제 is what? 국제 is international. 국제 is international. Mari kita tulis kat sini. At least kita boleh nampak sikit kan. Okay. International. Okay. International. And another word is 국내. Please see the first word or the first character of the words 국. Okay, this one also 국. The only thing that changes is the one behind. Okay, yang belakangnya jadi yang tukar kan. 국제, 국내. Kalau you tahu ne is something is like inside, isn't it? Say inside. So agak-agak apa maksud 국내? Siapa tahu? Domestic. Okay, international and domestic. So please remember these two new words is very important. International is 국제. Again, 국제. Maksudnya is like negara. Okay, so 국제 is luar negara. Okay, luar negara. 국내, okay, aneh. 국내 is inside the negara, inside the country. So it's domestic lah. Okay. So if you want to go to, for example, if you are in Korea currently, and then you nak pergi balik Malaysia, so you would go to Incheon 국제공항. 공항, this word, okay, 공항, or here lah, nampak sikit kan? 공항 is airport. 공항 is airport. Okay, so Incheon 국제공항 is how you say Incheon International Airport. And now you know. Okay, so Gimpo 공항 is Gimpo Airport. Okay, so sekarang you tahu lah macam mana nak cakap Incheon International Airport or Gimpo Airport. Very good. So, lepas kita dah naik PNG is a plane. Okay, PNG, kita nak pergi lah negara-negara lain. Kita nak tengok, kita pergi mana ni? Okay. So, let's take a look at today's lesson. Cik baru nak start. Today's main lesson, I would say. Okay. Kita nak belajar pasal negara-negara di dalam dunia lah. So in terms of dalam bahasa Korea, usually they don't use words yang sama. Mungkin ada yang contoh macam Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, okay, they use those words. Tapi kalau macam negara contoh macam dekat sini kan, South Korea, Japan, Thailand, China, they would use a different name. Okay, a different name. Okay, macam contohlah kita panggil Belanda kan. Apa ni dalam English dia lain kan. So dalam Korea pun ada benda macam tu juga. Okay, so let's take a look at the first part. Kita akan belajar 3 new words as well. Okay, please take a look at this part. Country. Have you ever heard, contoh kan macam dalam variety show, orang Korea akan selalu cakap uri nara. Uri is our. Okay, uri is our. Okay, uri. Nara is country. 어느 나라 왔어요? Okay, 어느 나라 왔어요? Which country are you from? 나라. Okay, 나라. 나라 is country. Country. Okay. Ingat tak cook tadi tu? Cook. 국제, 국내. International and domestic. So the same word cook, but just change behind here is chok. Cook chok is nationality. Nationality. Okay. So contohnya Malaysia. Okay, Malaysia is the nara, the country, nara. Okay, so if you want to say a Malaysian person, which is their nationality, remember last week? Do you remember last week? How do you say I am a Malaysian person? Do you remember what is person? Person is 사람. 사람. 그래서 Malaysia 사람. Malaysia 사람 is my nationality, right? So I am a Malaysian. So that is my nationality. So Malaysia 사람. The country, the nara is Malaysia. Okay, but the nationality is Malaysia 사람. Okay. And another word that you might want to know is 도시. 도시. 도시 is city. City. Okay, bukan Siti Nurhaliza, city. Okay, so a doshi inside a Malaysia, okay, doshi inside Malaysia is Kuala Lumpur, for example. Okay, so a Kuala Lumpur is a city in Malaysia. Okay, so please remember nara. Nara is country. Kukchok, nationality. Doshi, city. Okay? Okay. So let me refresh my Facebook. Okay. Sekejap. Okay. So now let's learn the words for countries. Okay, saya tak naklah list semua benda kan pening kepala nak ingat pula kan. So these are the 8 countries that we always want to use because these are the words or countries yang diorang guna perkataan lain. Okay, macam saya cakap tadi, except for Malaysia lah. Malaysia in Korea is in Korean is also Malaysia. But you don't say it as Malaysia. You say it's Malaysia. 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 Okay. So if you can see this one, dia mal dulu kan, Malaysia. Okay. Malaysia is Malaysia. South Korea, I did this last week. Okay. Last week belajarnya juga. So Hanguk. Let me just write it down. Hanguk. Hanguk. So Hanguk is actually a short form of 대한제국. 대한제국 dia pendek kan dia jadi Hanguk. So 대한제국, the longer word is actually the Korean Empire. Okay, kalau korang tengok cerita atau drama kan, drama yang historical, they would usually use 대한제국 instead of Hanguk because maybe at that time diorang tak tukar lagi 대한제국 jadi Hanguk. Okay, so now we just call it as Hanguk. But please remember, Hanguk is only South Korea. Okay, only South Korea. Or sometimes you might hear 대한민국. 대한민국. Ingat kan? Macam orang yang budak-budak dalam Superman Returns kan. So 대한민국, also South Korea. Okay. All right. So next country is 일본. 일본 is Japan. 일본. 일본. Ilbon is Japan. So sebenarnya kalau korang pergi Korea kan, so last time when I stayed in Korea, I would always go back and forth. Macam saya selalu berulang-alik pergi Korea dengan Jepun, because it only took about, I think, 45 minutes, tak silap. 45 minutes to 1 hour lah, from Seoul to Osaka. Okay, so I would always go front and back, front and back, pergi back and forth. Front and back, from Hanguk, okay, from South Korea to Ilbon, okay, to Ilbon, so to Japan. Okay, so Ilbon, 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 Ilbon. Okay, Ilbon is Japan. Okay, so above Malaysia we have Thailand, isn't it? So Thailand. So anybody here from Thailand, you can say apa ni? Teringat Tehan Minggu Mangse yang triplet lah. Itulah. So Tehan Minggu Mangse yang dalam cerita apa ni? Supermaritans kan. So there are 3 macam kembar kan, kembar 3 orang kan. So Tehan Minggu is Korea, South Korea, and then Mangse is like hooray. So like macam itulah dia punya maksudnya. Okay. So yeah. Back to Thailand. Thailand is Taeguk. 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 Okay. Taeguk is Thailand. Taeguk. Okay. So basically these are the words yang diorang guna instead of the own country itself. So diorang tak guna Thailand, they use Taeguk. Okay. So when they say Taeguk, Taeguk, Taeguk means Thailand. Okay, Thailand. Okay, next is Migu. Migu. Okay, this is how you say it. Migu. Migu is the USA, the America. Okay, Migu. Again, macam mie goreng, oh. Migu. Migu. Okay. And Australia is Hoju. Hoju. Did you know that a lot of Koreans who are basically like macam dalam umur 20 lebih, they would go to Hoju and have a working holiday. Okay, so most of my friends, dalam banyak kawan Korea kan, I think dalam 10 orang, maybe dalam 8 orang pernah pergi Hoju, pergi Australia untuk buat working holiday. So what they do is diorang bekerja di macam ladang ke apa ke, and then diorang akan dapat insentif, and then at the same time diorang belajar at the university. Okay, so they have a working holiday program in Hoju. Hoju. Okay, so Hoju is Australia. Okay, very good. Next one, Chungguk. 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 Chungguk is China. China. Okay. Okay. Chungguk is China. Okay, China. So usually in Korea you will hear most of this one like Ilbon, Chungguk. Ilbon, Chungguk. Japan, China. Japan, China. Okay. Ilbon, Chungguk. And this one is English is Yongguk. Yongguk. So please remember these words. Yongguk. Yongguk. Okay, very good. So again, one more time. Malaysia. 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 Hanguk. Hanguk. I hear some people say Hanguk. It's not Hang, it's Han. Okay, Hanguk. Hanguk. Han tu sebenarnya dia datang daripada perkataan Cina. So they have like Chinese character. So it goes back in history. So Han. Okay, so make sure you pronounce it well. Hanguk. Okay. Ilbon. 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 Taeguk. 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 Migu. Migu. Hoju. Hoju. 중국, 중국, 영국, 영국. Okay, very good. Okay, sebelum kita move on to the next slide, Shah nak share satu benda. Okay, let me just open a new tab over here. Okay, korang pernah tak tengok? Salah jap. Okay, let's put it this way so you can see. Okay, have you ever seen such a beautiful night? Okay, and have you ever seen this one? A lot of people, actually sebenarnya last week after the first class, ada orang message Shah, and then dia tanya macam mana nak sebut dua ni. Yes, this can be very confusing. Okay, mari kita tengok because after this slide kita ada nak guna perkataan ni atau huruf ni. Okay, siapa tahu macam mana nak sebut perkataan ini ataupun perkataan lah atau karakter. Okay, let's see this one first. This one, the first one, this area, okay, on the left is basically it's like kosong lah, dia tak ada apa-apa. Okay, it's like an empty character. Okay, the way to pronounce this is you pull your lip to the back. But like macam you nak senyum tapi tak nak senyum. Macam you nak senyum tapi you nak sedih at the same time. So dia macam macam tu. Macam dia nak menangis macam tu. So okay, again. So basically, usually people tak ada, orang tak adalah masalah sangat nak cakap Yang ni yang masalah sikit. Okay, macam mana nak sebut benda ni? So, as you can see, dia ada ada perkataan, ada karakter tapi dia ada lagi satu line tu. And that line is I, isn't it? That is I. Okay? So, I, in Korean, we pronounce it as E. Kan? So, if you combine these two, basically it's plus E, isn't it? So this is how you pronounce it. Okay, nak senyum tak nak senyum? Senyum sikit. Okay, so again, okay, Tapi, okay, siapa yang join kelas ni very lucky sebab Shah nak share tips untuk cakap ataupun sebut in 3 different situations. Okay, let's say for example, if it's at the start or the beginning of a word, contoh like this, okay, it's at the beginning, and then this one is in the middle, and then this one is at the end. Okay, let's highlight this so you can see a little bit better. Contoh Okay, dia ada kategori dia. Dia punya sound, okay, dia punya bunyi, dia akan berdasarkan dia punya location. Macam mana tu? Okay, let's take for example. Number 1. If the is at the front or at the beginning of the word, you will say it as okay, macam ni. And then the next word is ja. Kan? Ja. So ja is chair in Korean, okay? Chair, kerusi. Ja. So ingat, if it's at the front or beginning of the word, you pronounce it as normal. Ja. Ja. Okay, doctor. Ja. Okay, so it's normal. Kalau dia dekat tengah, kita nak cakap macam mana? Do you know what is Pyeonijom? Do you know what is the second word? Nurmiza tanya as for Uma. Yes, Uma. Yes, Uma. Yes, very good. So if it's in the middle, okay, kalau dia dekat tengah-tengah, kita tak cakap dia ui sebab dia akan bunyi macam pelik. Okay, let's see this word. I will write it as normal. Pion, ui, jom, isn't it? It's supposed to be pion, ui, jom. Salah. Pion, ui, jom. Pion, ui, jom is convenience store. Macam 7-Eleven, apa ni, Family Mart macam tu. Okay, so pion, ui, jom. Pion, ui, jom. Tapi since it's in the middle of the word, kita tak boleh nak cakap pion ui jom. Sebab dia akan bunyi pelik. Contohnya pion ui jom kal kueh. Dia macam, kau dah kenapa? Macam tu kan. So if it's in the middle of the word, kita akan cakap pion i jom. Kita buang je tu. Dia memudahkan kita lah untuk cakap that perkataan. Okay? So kita tak cakap pion ui jom. Kita akan cakap pion i jom. Pion i jom. Tak adakah senang hidup kita? Kan? Pion i jom. Pion i jom. So pion i jom is convenience store. Okay? 7-Eleven, CU, JS25, Happy Mart, macam itulah. Pion i jom. Okay, ingat if it's in the middle of the word, we don't say pion ui jom. We say it is pion i jom. Pion i jom. Okay. Ni pula, what if it's at the end of the word? Siapa tahu? Dia akan pelik sikit. Dia akan jadi, okay, kalau betul kalau betul lah, kalau ikutkan dia punya right way, sorry, Oma, apa aku tulis ni? Oma, okay, Oma, patutnya ui, Oma ui, kan, Oma ui. Kita tak cakap Oma ui, susahnya hidup kita nak cakap Oma ui, kan? Kita akan tukar je, jadi buang je UI tu. Kita cakap je omai. Kan sedang hidup kita. Okay, dia punya sistem dia akan jadi macam tu. If it's at the end of the word, kita tak cakap oma ue atau oma ui. Kita tak akan cakap macam tu. Kita akan just cakap oma Senang. Okay, tak payah nak susah-susah. Oma Okay, oma as you know is mom. Mom, isn't it? Okay, so mom. So if you see, kalau you tengok, apa-apa perkataan yang ada ui at the back, contoh macam ni, oma ui, okay, oma ui, it means kepunyaan. Kepunyaan. So, jadi apostrophe S. So, oma, so, mak punya, or moms. Okay, so moms. So, oma je is mom. So, oma is Omae is mom's. Omae tip, mom's house. Omae oat, mom's clothes. Omae 휴대폰, mom's phone. Okay, so omae, omae, omae. Okay, so please remember one more time. If it's in the beginning of the word, we say is ui. 의자, 의사. Okay? If it's in the middle of the word, we say it as 이. 편의점, 편의점, 편의점. Okay? And if it's at the end of the word, we say 애, 엄마애, 아빠애, 동생애. 애. Okay? So please remember this character. 의. Okay? Dia ada dia punya sistem sendiri. Please remember, first, the beginning, second, the middle of the word, and the third is at the end. How you pronounce it is very crucial. Okay, so please remember. Okay. Now, so one of the reasons why Shah bagi tahu macam mana kita nak tanya, okay, ataupun sebut perkataan tu is kita nak tengok the next slide. Okay, mari kita tengok bersama-sama. Okay, please look at the image on the left. Okay. Please look at the image on the left and please look at the wordings on the right. Okay. Let me put it this way so you can see my picture. Okay. So let's try to read it together and then we will try to answer together. Please remember yes or no. Do you remember last week? Okay, last week kita dah belajar yes or no. Yes is ne. 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 Okay, ne. How about no? No. No. It's 아니요. 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 Okay. 네. 아니요. So can we try to answer these questions? Okay. Again, these are all the words that we have learned today. 유키 씨는 유키 is the name, and remember last week we learned she, 유키 씨, miss or Mr, right? 유키 씨. 유키 씨는 일본. Do you remember what is 일본? Siapa tahu? 일본. Yes, Fatin says no, it's 아니요. Very good. Niza says no, it's 아니요. Very good. What is 일본? Do you remember? Yes, 일본 is Japan. 일본 is Japan. Very good. Okay, Japan. So 일본 사람. Yes, Fatin is Japanese. Very good. Very good. 일본 is Japan. 일본 사람. 일본 사람 is Japanese. Very good. Okay. So 유키 씨는 일본 사람이에요. Do you remember we learned last week 이에요 and 예요? So I don't need to repeat this one, yeah? Okay. 유키 씨는 일본 사람이에요. 네, 아니요. 네, 아니요. Which one? 네, 아니요. Please look at the picture on the left. 유키 씨는 일본 사람이에요. 일본 사람이에요. 하, orang Jepun ke tak? Yes. 네, very good. 네. 네. Okay, the simple answer is 네 lah. Okay, but you can also say 네, 유키 씨는 일본 사람이에요. Okay, 유키 씨는 일본 사람이에요. 네, 유키 씨는 일본 사람이에요. One more time slowly, yeah? 네. 네. 유키 씨는 일본 사람이에요. 네, 유키 씨는 일본 사람이에요. Okay, yes, Yuki, she is a Japanese person or Japanese. Very good. Okay, can we try number 2? Let's try to see number 2. Tui 씨는, Tui again is the name. Tui she is Miss or Mr. Tui. Okay, in this case is Miss. Miss Tui. Tui 씨는, how do you read this one? Vietnam. So obviously Vietnam is Vietnam. Vietnam. So Vietnam is in Korean is Vietnam. So 베트남 사람이에요. 봐봐요. 투이 씨는 지금 한복 입고 있어요. Okay? 투이 씨는 지금 한복 입고 있어요. 한복 is the Korean traditional dress. Okay? 한복. Miss Tui is wearing the 한복. 그 투이 씨는 한복 입고 있어요. 그래서 베트남 사람이에요. 베트남 사람이에요. 투이 씨는 한복 입고 있는데. 맞아요. 아니요. 아니요. 투이 씨는 베트남 사람이에요. 아니요. 아니요. 그럼 어느 나라 사람이에요? Which country? Which 나라? 어느 나라 사람이에요? 투이 씨는 한국 사람이에요. Very good. 아니요. Very good. Okay. 투이 씨는 한국 사람이에요. Okay, that is the right answer, right? So 투이 씨는 베트남 사람이에요? 아니요. 아니요. 투이 씨는 한국 사람인데요. 투이 씨는 한복 입고 있어서 이렇게 뭐 말로 할 수 있어요. 투이 씨는 한국 사람이에요. Okay, 투이 씨는 한국 사람이에요. Okay, very good. Now let's try number 3. Very good, Miza. 한국 사람이에요. Very good. Scarlett cakap Toya 씨는 mi국 사람이에요. Hah? Oh, sabar dulu kali. Okay, kita akan pergi ke situ. Kita akan pergi ke situ. Kita akan pergi ke nombor 4. Kita buat nombor 3 dulu. Okay, let's try to see the third picture. Can you see the flag? That is the flag of. Kan nak bagi tahu lagi. Okay, let's try to read. Chien 씨는, Chien is the name. Chien she, Miss Chien. Chien 씨는 중국 사람이에요. 중국 사람이에요. 중국 is what? What is 중국? Do you remember? Just now kita punya ni tadi. Nampak tak? Ingat tak? 중국. 중국 is over here. 중국 is China. 중국 is China. 치엔 씨는 중국 사람이에요. Yes, very good, Fatin. Fatin. And Saada says China. And Miza says, 네, 치엔 씨는 중국 사람이에요. Very good, Miza. 네, 치엔 씨는 중국 사람이에요. 네, 치엔 씨는 중국 사람이에요. One more time야. 네, 치엔 씨는 중국 사람이에요. 치엔 씨는 중국 사람이에요. Okay, very good, fantastic. Okay, Miza says Chinese, very good. Yep, 중국 사람 is Chinese or a Chinese person. Okay, okay. Tadi Khalid dah buat nombor 4 kan tadi. Sas Khalid cakap Toya 씨는 미국 사람이에요. Okay, very good. Toya 씨는, Toya is the name. Toya. Okay. Toya 씨는 Miss Toya. 미국, is that a 미국 flag? What is 미국? Do you remember? Let's try to see this one again. 미국 is USA. Yang dia pegang ni ialah Malaysia. Walaupun flag ni agak sama kan. Dia punya flag with Malaysian and the USA flag, it's almost similar. But as you can see, she is a Malaysian. So 토야 씨는 미국 사람이에요. So what must you answer? What must you answer? So as you can see, she is holding the Malaysian flag. But the question says, 토야 씨는 미국 사람이에요. 그럼 어떻게 대답하세요? How do you answer? Yes, very good, Khalid. So it's a Malaysia, right? So you can say 토야 씨는 말레이시아 사람이에요. Okay, so the question is 토야 씨는 미국 사람이에요? 아니요. 아니요. Very good, Miza. 아니요. 토야 씨는 말레이시아 사람이에요. 말레이시아 사람이에요. Very good. Fantastic. Okay, so again, we will try to read this one more time. Please listen to my pronunciation. 따라하세요. Okay. 잘 들으세요. 따라하세요. Please listen well and repeat after me. Number 1. 유키 씨는 일본 사람이에요. 네, 유키 씨는 일본 사람이에요. Okay. Number 2. 투이 씨는 베트남 사람이에요. 아니요. 투이 씨는 한국 사람이에요. Okay, very good. Number 3. 치엔 씨는 중국 사람이에요. 네, 치엔 씨는 중국 사람이에요. Okay, and the last one. 토야 씨는 미국 사람이에요. 아니요. 토야 씨는 말레이시아 사람이에요. Ah, very good. Okay, so next time if someone says, okay, let's say Nurmiza kan. Nurmiza 씨는 일본 사람이에요? ataupun dia tanya Khalid, Khalid 씨는 중국 사람이에요? So you boleh cakap, 아니요, 저는 저는 말레이시아 사람이에요. 저는 말레이시아 사람이에요. Okay, so next time you can also say 저는. Okay, you don't have to put your name in there because you're talking about yourself, right? So you can say 저는. Okay, very good. Okay, so before we end the class, I want to share with you. Tadi kita nak cakap pasal age kan, tapi kita software pula tercrash tadi. Tak apa, kita tulis kat sini. 저는 살이에요. Okay. This is how you say. Okay, I letak dia punya romanization 저는 okay. 살이에요. Okay. So this is how you say I am blah 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 years old. So do you remember the numbers just now we learned, okay? So if you want to say your name, your age, okay, you would say 저는 blah blah blah. Sal is years old. Okay, so I am 26 years old. So years old is sal. Okay, this part. Sal. 살이에요. 이에요, remember? Last week we learned kalau dia ada 받침, if you have the 받침, which is the last consonant or the last vowel, the last consonant, sorry, and then you will put 이에요. Okay, so this one is based a grammar last week. So I hope you remember. Okay, 저는 Allahu Akbar. Okay, 저는, let's say for example, I want to say. I want to say 26. Okay, kita tak nak letaklah 26, kita nak letak dalam bahasa Korea. Do you remember what is 26? 20 is 스물, and 6 is 여섯. 스물여섯. Nurmiza tanya kalau umur 30 tahun. Okay, 30 tahun is, kita akan belajar next week tapi kita tulis dulu lah. Soren. Allahu Akbar. Kadang-kadang dia tukar antara Korean dengan English punya ni. Soren. Soren is 30, okay, Miza? Oh, Miza 30 tahun ni. Soren. Okay. So kita letak kat bawah ni, okay. Again, 저는, whatever your age is, okay, you put the 스물여섯. Okay, this is my age lah. Janganlah ikut yang ni. Kalau you 26 tak apalah. Kalau you bukan 26, janganlah tulis tak 26. Okay. 26살이에요. 저는 26살이에요. Okay. 저는, me, I, 26, which is 26. 26, 26. Nurmiza, thank you for answering my question. Okay, no problem. 26살이에요. 저는 26살이에요. Okay. So kalau Miza nak cakap you are 30 years old, then you tukar je lah soren. Oh, this is how you say soren. Soren is 30 years old, okay? 30. 저는, okay, kalau Miza, in this case, you can say 저는 30살이에요. 저는 30살이에요. 30살이에요. Okay. Usually in Korean, if you are 30, they would say you are a tray of eggs. Sebab apa tahu? A tray of egg contains 30 eggs, kan? So they will say you are a tray of egg. A tray of eggs. So yeah. 저는 26살이에요. Okay. Anybody else wanna ask for your age? Kalau tak pasti tanya je, okay? Okay, so again, let's say 안녕하세요, your name, your age, and your country. Can we try to do that? Okay. Okay, tengok Okay, kita buat satu-satu. Okay. Number 1, don't forget. 안녕하세요. Do you remember? Allah. 안녕하세요. 저는, okay, I will take my Shah입니다. Do you remember last sorry, Shah예요. Okay, Shah예요 ke Shah입니다 ke, it's up to you. Okay, and your age? 저는 26살이에요. Okay, and then the last one? 저는 말레이시아 사람이에요. Okay, now is to complete your full introduction. Okay, so kita ambil, for example, kita ambil nama Saadah. Okay, Saadah. Kalau Saadah nak cakap macam ni, Saadah berapa tahun Saadah? Saadah tak tulis pula kat sini. Kita apa? Kita katalah Saadah 23 tahun lah. Okay, contoh. Okay, let's say I am Saadah. Okay, I would say 안녕하세요. 저는 사다예요. 저는 23 apa tadi? 23. 23살이에요. 저는 23살이에요. 저는 23살이에요. 저는 말레이시아 사람이에요. So now you have hello, you have your name, you have your age, you have your country. But no introduction you. 미사 says 안녕하세요. 저는 하미자예요. 저는 30살이에요. 저는 말레이시아 사람이에요. Very good. 하미자 씨 반가워요. Very nice to meet you. Okay, very good. So 미사 says 안녕하세요. 저는 하미자예요. 저는 30살이에요. Okay. 하미자 is 30 years old. And Hamiza says 저는 말레이시아 사람이에요. Okay, so Hamiza is a Malaysian person. Okay, very good. So now you know how to introduce yourself and how to say your age and how to say your country. Okay, so very good. So thank you for joining my class today. Siapa-siapa yang ada soalan lagi boleh bertanyakan di Shah punya Twitter ataupun di komen di sini pun boleh, because nanti diorang akan upload balik this class, so you can always answer, ask the question there, atau you boleh join my Telegram also. Bolehlah bertanyakan soalan. Dan next week kita akan belajar topik baru, okay, which is vocab yang pasal verb. So actions, okay, action. So please don't miss next week's class. Kita ada lagi kelas PERCUMA. Okay, so I hope you had fun today. 반갑습니다. Okay, so thank you so much. 감사합니다. Let's call Miss Jaja. Miss Jaja, 안녕하세요.
Tonight's class was pretty fast. I mean, I was like kind of left out. Tapi tak apalah, cuba. I memang tak ada exposure langsung to Korean languages. So I think the challenge is more on the pronunciation, because kadang macam SS tu bunyi sh, kan?
Right.
So macam kalau ikut nampak eja E-I-A-O tu, logik kepala I nak ikut A-E-O.
Faham.
So I think it's the getting used to pronunciation lah. So insyaAllah definitely I pun setia kat ikut kelas you sebenarnya.
Tapi sebenarnya kan yang kalau macam that area ataupun yang grammar, I would actually go deeper into that in my smart class class in the future. So if you guys want to join that class, I think there would be a little bit more macam detail lah, I would say. Okay, for now it's just like we go through. Tapi next week pun ada, jangan lupa.
Okay. Alright, so seperti yang Shah Azham katakan, of course walaupun Shah banyak ajar dan juga banyak share tips dan basic Korean di live kelas kita kat Facebook ni, tapi lebih banyak lagi yang Shah akan ajar secara menyeluruh dan mendalam. Okay, for the Korean language. Sebab macam as you guys know, ataupun yang mana-mana baru nak kenal Shah Azham, dia memang belajar sendiri dari awal dulu, dan dia ada ambil courses, tapi kebanyakan dia belajar sendiri. So she can share her own experience yang kadang-kadang bila kita nak belajar dari textbook, dia jadi macam kaku sangat. So bila kita ada someone yang belajar bahasa tu daripada sendiri ataupun secara second language, because Shah bukan native Korean, so cara dia belajar mungkin relevan untuk kita yang di Malaysia ni untuk belajar, berbanding kalau kita belajar dengan direct cikgu Korean tu sendiri, contohlah kan. Okay, alright, so seperti Shah katakan juga, video ni akan ada di SmartKelas Facebook selepas live ni habis, tapi ada juga dekat YouTube kami. Okay, so you guys boleh revise balik, boleh tengok balik, boleh pause kan, untuk salin nota balik ke apa ke, supaya boleh get more comfortable in talking Korean, and also more prepared for coming classes. Sebab last week class macam okay, I boleh ikut ni. This week macam alamak, dah macam susah je. Ni baru nombor 2. Baru basic tu, bukannya intermediate kan. Okay, but I believe.
But I'm so surprised though, like for if you see the comments, orang ikut tau. Kan, and then orang tulis dalam bahasa Korea semua. And I actually have a few friends yang betul-betul basic. And then today they type in Korean. So I'm like, wow.
Okay, oh ni macam challenge accepted ni. I macam dah tergugat sikit ni.
Tergugat.
Kan, so keyboard pun nak kena ada boleh tulis Korean lah maksudnya.
Kan.
Okay, so yes, on Smart Class end, we are very, very happy. We're actually very proud with a lot of you guys yang able to write in Korean and ask Shah questions, so you guys dapat pick up the better nuances of how to speak a foreign language. Okay, because of course, tak senang lah. Even kalau kata kita orang Malaysia ni nak belajar English pun, a lot of us are struggling. So apatah lagi kita nak belajar bahasa yang memang completely tak digunakan dalam negara kita. But okay, tak impossible, tengoklah Shah sendiri boleh. So I'm sure a lot of anak-anak Smart Class di Malaysia dan juga tuan-tuan dan perempuan yang join kelas Smart Class akan sooner or later dapat master Korean in a better way. Okay, alright Shah, thank you so much for your time tonight. We are very excited to look forward to next week's class. Okay, so tuan-tuan dan perempuan, jangan lupa follow, like Facebook dan juga kita punya subscribe kita punya YouTube channel supaya dapat ikuti live class kami, live classes, live class. Kelas kita hidup live class. Okay, live classes kita. So we will be back next week. Hari Selasa minggu depan. Biasalah Selasa, Rabu, Khamis sampai hari Ahad minggu depan. Okay? Alright, thank you so much kepada semua tuan-tuan dan perempuan, adik-adik Malaysia Smart Class yang join kita pada minggu ini, yang gigih tunggu setiap pukul 8.30 malam. Jangan lupa luangkan masa yang sama sejam je satu malam again next week. Okay, again Shah, thank you so much and thank you everyone. Selamat malam.